Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, it's this whole Robert De Niro and Donald Trump thing.
Oh yeah, they've been going at it.
Right. And we've got like news articles and interviews and even, social media posts and stuff like that, and we're going to try to like figure this out.
Yeah, unpack it a bit.
Yeah, what is this whole like I don't know, feud, I guess you call it. Tell us about like celebrities in politics.
Well, and it's funny because De Niro is usually like so outspoken
Oh yeah.
in his criticism of Trump. And then recently there was this interview where it seemed like he took kind of a softer approach.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Mhm.
It was with The Guardian, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he was talking about I think it was about like Trump's second term.
Yeah.
And he seemed, I don't know, almost like optimistic.
Yeah.
Like hopeful.
Hopeful, yeah.
Which is so different from like, in the past he's called him a jerk
Oh yeah, he hasn't held back.
and a clown and all this. And so it's like, what is going on? Like, is he changing his tune?
Well, so it turns out that interview was actually for his new Netflix film, 0 Day. And apparently there were some pretty strict guidelines about not talking about personal stuff or political stuff. So I think in that context, it kind of makes sense
Okay.
that he might have chosen his words a little more carefully.
It's interesting. Yeah. So it's like the Netflix machine kind of
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
holding him back a bit.
Yeah.
But this De Niro guy, he's been pretty vocal.
Oh, yeah. He's been outspoken for years.
Yeah, this is not a new thing. Like even before the election, I was reading this interview
Mm-hmm.
and he was fired up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that Trump and like his supporters aren't real Republicans. And then he went on to endorse Kamala Harris, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Saying that, we need a president who is sensitive to the condition of the country. So like, what do you make of that?
Well, I think that's really revealing when you look at who he ended up endorsing, because it seems like what he's looking for in a leader is really empathy
Okay.
and understanding. And, you can definitely get the sense that that's what he thinks is lacking, and that's what's really important to him.
Yeah. And of course, you can't talk about this whole thing without talking about how Trump has reacted.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, he's, what did he do? He went on like Twitter or whatever it's called now.
So it's social or whatever, yeah.
And like fired back at De Niro,
Yeah.
called him a loser.
I am a loser. Even criticizes acting, which I don't know how qualified he is to do.
But I mean, that's kind of classic Trump. Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's his playbook. But, it is kind of interesting because as much as this is sort of like a juvenile back and forth, it does kind of tell you something deeper, right? Because it's clearly very personal at this point. And it also just shows how, I don't know, social media has almost become like this battleground for political arguments.
Yeah. Doesn't really lead to
Yeah.
real discussion, I feel like.
Not really, no.
But, yeah, I remember, I think it was last year, right? De Niro gave a speech outside of Trump's,
Oh, yeah.
that hush money trial.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did you see that?
I did. It was something else.
He did not hold back at all. Like calling Trump a tyrant,
Tyrant. Yeah.
comparing him to like dictators in history.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty strong statement to make.
That's heavy stuff. It's really interesting, though, to see him, De Niro drawing on these, like, really powerful images from history. He's really trying to make a point about the danger that he sees in another Trump presidency, right?
Yeah.
And whether you agree with his perspective or not, you can't deny that it's pretty powerful rhetoric.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's like we have this, Hollywood legend and this former president.
Right.
And they're going at it. They're throwing these insults back and forth.
It's a spectacle.
It's entertaining, but like, what does it actually, what does it say about the way we talk about politics today?
Right. I mean, that's the question, isn't it? Like, does this kind of back and forth actually do anything productive?
Yeah.
Or does it just further divide people?
Yeah.
And make politics seem like it's just the spectator sport?
Yeah. And is that how we want it?
Right. It's worth thinking about.
Yeah. And I think it's also just interesting to think about the role of celebrities. Like, what kind of influence do they have?
Yeah.
Like, is De Niro, is he helping bring attention to important issues?
Yeah.
Or is he just adding to the noise?
Right.
I don't know. It's pretty complex.
It is. And I don't think there are any easy answers.
No, but it's definitely a lot to think about, especially when it comes to like how we talk about politics online and, just
Absolutely.
in our everyday lives. But hey, at least it's interesting, right?
That's true. It keeps things lively.
It does. It does. All right. Well, thanks for listening to our deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Of course.